Ow, my foot! Hey everybody! We are doing a bonus unboxing video. I guess uh, this is the Haslab HISS tank, and I don't have enough room on my desk for this thing. Now, full disclosure here, I didn't back this project. A friend of mine did. He and I had a little friendly bet going on who would get their Haslab first. Me, Deathsaurus, and him, his tanks. He ordered multiple of them. And I ended up winning that bet by like a day. I actually don't know. But he liked my unboxing video so much, he offered me one of his tanks to look at. This is not mine. I'm not keeping it. I will be giving it back to him. But he thought it would be fun for me to open this up and share with all of you. So you can all thank Devin, watcher of the show and good friend of mine from way back in the day. And check out his stuff too. He is the co-host of the Say Report podcast. So if you want some wacky, I'm not going to do it justice, but basically pop culture fun in a podcast form, he's your guy. Him and his friend Sejan run that podcast. I think it comes out monthly, maybe more. And yeah, but thanks to Devin for letting me borrow this to check it out. As you can see, the box is massive, and I don't even know where to begin with this thing. But I'm going to crack this open. I'm not even going to flip this box around because, holy cow, it's just not going to work the way I did the Deathsaurus one. But yeah, give me a few minutes. I will crack this thing open. We're going to take a look at everything that's inside, and I'll give you my thoughts on the Haslab HISS tank. Okay, we got the outer packaging open, and you can see there's one massive box and one smaller box. This is presumably the one with the figures on it. Great looking Cobra logo stamped on the front, and a Cobra HISS logo stamped on the front of that. And I apologize, I have to do this handheld because this is so huge. I am not going to make a habit of doing unboxing videos, but let's take a look inside here. We got all our stickers. I will not be applying any of these things because, like I said, I am not keeping this. This is going back to my friend Devin. He can do what he like with it. But, you know, what you get if you were to back this project, or if you just want to see what you got and what you missed out on, like me, you get a sheet of stickers here so you can customize your tank. Let's find a place for that and not lose it. Nice packaging on here. Like, they wanted to make sure everything was safe. Say what you will about Hasbro, but they want to do things like this and try to, make this collector friendly. They listened last time, so that's nice. So we have a Cobra HISS Tactician, we have a Cobra HISS Driver, we have the Cobra HISS Gunner, and then we have a Cobra Commander, which is pretty darn cool. And I think he's on a Classics card. He's not in one of these cool Classified Series boxes, which... neither here nor there. I don't collect enough of the Classified to care. This pops out. And we'll take all these guys out. I do have Devin's permission to open these, so I will open up the figures and we will take a look at those. And I'm also going to make a mess and just knock over my whole workspace area. Hey, you guys get some behind the scenes and see how little space I actually have to work with on my videos. And then we have the Cobra HISS box. So in here should be the tank itself. If I can get this massive thing open. And look at that. Isn't it great? I love this brown color they chose for it. This is gorgeous. Now, we got panels for the tread guards. More panels for the optional tread guards. The different windshields or windscreens. We got a gun, and we've got a tank. Lots of cool stuff in here. Oh man. Alright, I'm going to get all of this out of the packaging, get it all nice on my table so you don't have to keep looking at all this nonsense. I'm not going to take it all out on camera, and I'll be right back with you. And wow, here is almost everything you get with the HISS tank. I'm choosing not to open Cobra Commander because he just looks so good in that box. I took a picture of it and I'll insert it in here somewhere. He's very cool looking on the retro card. But really the main stuff to look at, for me anyway, is the HISS tank itself and the crew that it comes with. We have our gunner, we have our technician, we have our driver. These are pretty typical if you have any classified series figures. The articulation is all there. We have a female gunner who's super articulated. I actually really like her a lot. The details on her are great, and she comes with probably the coolest accessories with this drum-style machine gun. She comes with a pickaxe, a shovel. I know these are hard to see because it's, black on a black background with a black toy behind it, but, that's what she gets. She gets a shovel. She gets one of these cool bayoneted rifles and a couple extra hands. The tactician comes with, he's got the more unique color scheme, I guess because he's a tactician. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about G.I. Joe to know the differences between what the colors mean for rank or anything like that, if anything, but it's still pretty cool. I love the sculpted detail on these guys, but the tactician and the driver are basically the same mold, just different colors. And they come with mostly the same accessories, these weird hockey gloves for closed fists. I'm not sure why you would what they're for. I don't know, but they're neat. These knuckle dusting gloves. The tactician comes with these cool red accented bayoneted rifle and a red accented pistol. She also comes with a sidearm, and the driver comes with the sidearm and the bayoneted rifle and this. I like them all. They're really neat, really well articulated. They'll look great with this. They definitely go with the set. But let me clear them out of the way, or at least put them on the... I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but we'll take a look at the HISS tank itself and the details on it. So here is the HISS tank. Now I've chosen to put on this newer canopy. It does come with a clear canopy if you want it to look more like a traditional classics 80s Joe vehicle, where it's just clear, one sheet of clear plastic. But this canopy I thought was a lot cooler. Hopefully you can see it in this camera view. Checking it. Yep. It's got these gull wing sides, so you can pop it out, and the driver can look out and go through the BK drive-in and order his Whopper, whatever. And stuff's falling off now. But it's neat because you can see into the cockpit really well. I think for display purposes and for collectors, these are going to be great because, you could display it with it half open and be able to just kind of look in there and see all the incredible details in the cockpit here. I apologize. My camera work's going to be all sorts of messed up, but I'm going to pop this open here so you can see the fantastic detail on this thing. The details in the cockpit are just awesome. Like, you got this heads-up display, which with batteries this would light up red. You got the beautifully sculpted chair. He's got the straps and stuff like that. He's got all these movable articulated controls and things, so you can mess around with that. He's got a joystick on this side that he can mess around with. I'm afraid to touch anything because it feels so delicate. Like, this definitely has a premium collector's vibe to it, and it's not my toy, so I'm trying to be as delicate as possible with it and not mess around too much, but also show everybody what it can do. The sides, if you leave the cockpit, have these ladders, so you can have troopers posed and coming up and climbing up to work on it. You have the gunnery station, which comes out, I believe. Yep, cool. So it's easier to put the gunner in if you take this out and then pop her back in, or any figure really. It doesn't have to be the specific gunner, but everybody goes where they're supposed to go, in my opinion. So she can run it and kill everybody, all the Joes. This piece comes off, so if they want to do some vehicle maintenance, there's a lot of cool sculpted details inside here. I assume that's the engine of the HISS tank, patent pending from Destro. And on the side here, we have these optional missile pods, which pop off and fall out, and not sure what else to do with them. It might have been cool if they came with a little truck to put them on. Maybe there is one in the classified line and I just don't know about it. But the thing that is, one of the things that is most impressive about this is these treads. They're full rubber treads. It's going to be hard to show on my station, but yeah, you can see them moving as you drive the vehicle along. That is just so cool that they did that. And that's what's a testament to the G.I. Joe line when you're looking for detail. You come around here to the rear, you have a fold-down stand, so you can put a character on here. They can hold on to the bar. They could be riding along it like a garbage truck. I don't know. But I believe this opens up as well. Come on. There we go. So this just was stiff, and it pops out. And you have a fantastic ramp people can climb up into, and the details in here. It's going to be really hard to show off the details because of my setup and how little space I have here, but hey, this is what Devin wanted. So you got a gun rack along the side here for all your various equipment, which is actually really cool, because even with the few G.I. Joe classified figures I have, I'm finding, like, I got all these extra weapons and accessories that I don't know what to do with them. This is kind of cool. It's a place to store them. You have a jump seat for the tactician, which is adjustable, because I guess he's adjustable. I'm not sure why it goes up and down, but who cares? It's fun. It moves. And I don't know if the seat folds. Feels like it does. Maybe it does. Maybe it comes out. Again, I don't want to mess with it too much and break something. I would be devastated because this is such an expensive collector's piece. That folds up there. The tow hook can fold up. And then coming around to the other side, it's basically a mirror image. You got another fold-out ladder. You have your swappable base plates for the treads. You have a cannon with missiles that fall off. There's one over there. Got to make sure I don't lose that. And then on the front here, I missed this, is a little cannon for presumably the gunner, the driver, to also, when he's trigger happy and the gunner's doing her thing up here, the driver can also shoot things, which is really fun. So, I mean, just first impressions, this is a incredibly detailed toy. I don't have a ton of experience with G.I. Joe. As a kid, I had a couple. I didn't have any vehicles. I had a couple of little figures. The only one I remember is this orange figure. Came with a backpack with sound equipment on it. You press the little button, it would make machine gun noises. I don't even remember who it was. It was definitely a Cobra Trooper. That's all I know. And I was always impressed by the articulation of those smaller G.I. Joes, and I'm impressed with the articulation on these too. I have a few classified figures, as you've seen throughout my videos. I sometimes sprinkle them in as background stuff. I think I had animated wheelie humping CoverGirl's leg. That was fun, and she shot him. But that's kind of it for G.I. Joe. I watched it, but I didn't own a lot of the toys. So for me, looking at this display piece, essentially, it is gorgeous. It doesn't speak to me in something that I definitely, wanted to go for. It's why I didn't back one. Also the price. It was either Deathsaurus or this, and I'm definitely going to go with Deathsaurus as a Transformers fan. But this is fantastic as a display piece. And it's electronic, too, which I haven't even put batteries in it because it doesn't come with them, which is okay. Because some people keep their stuff in box, and Hasbro probably didn't want people to have batteries degrading over years. I can tell you from personal experience, opening 20-year-old toys with batteries in them, it's not fun. But the experience of this for a G.I. Joe fan, I can see is going to be a lot of fun. There's so many things to do. There's so many ways to display this with the figures all over the place. They could be doing maintenance. They could be, driving it. Could be attacking and blowing up other stuff. But it is huge. I have no idea where you would put this. Like, just for scale here, this is the brain fart here. This is the Volcanicus combiner from Legacy of the core class figures, and that's how small he is compared to this thing. He's massive. It's just crazy the stuff that this can. The size of this thing, because it has to work with classified figures, which are 6-inch figures, versus traditional G.I. Joes, which are 3 1/4, something like that. But what else do I have for scale here? Oh, I have a G.I. Joe item I can use for scale. One of my only G.I. Joe vehicles, and here is a Python Patrol Trouble Bubble, which I thought about doing a video on at some point. I just haven't got around to it because non-Transformer videos don't get a lot of views, so I just kind of keep putting off doing other stuff. But yeah, you can see the difference in size here between the HISS tank and a Trouble Bubble. It's just incredible. But all comments aside, there is no denying how gorgeous this thing is. Is it worth, I think it was $300 to back this thing? To me personally, I wouldn't have done that because I'm not a huge G.I. Joe fan compared to Transformers. I definitely thought about it, but when I saw the price tag, I said no. If this had just come out by itself, or maybe with the driver, and it was around $150, $200, I would go for it. It's all the extra stuff that I just didn't need, which jacks up the price, but also kind of deters me. Like if these missiles had come as a separate thing, with maybe one of the, like the tactician or something like that, and it had a little truck for maintenance vehicle for this thing as a separate price in stores, and this was a retail release, obviously, that would have been really cool. To get it all in one package for $300, that's not for me. But there's no denying how unbelievably cool this looks. It's definitely a statement piece, putting it on the shelf if you're a G.I. Joe fan. Or if you're casual like me, and you just get to play with it. It's a lot of fun. But I'm going to mess around with it a little bit more, and I'll come back with my final thoughts. So, messing around with it, I will say that this is a really cool toy. Is it worth the $300? Again, I'm really not one who can answer that question because I'm not a G.I. Joe person. I like G.I. Joe. I would call myself a filthy casual. I know enough to be dangerous, but I could answer some trivia questions, but I don't know. I didn't dive into the comics or the lore or anything like that. So this isn't necessarily the toy for me. What I like most about G.I. Joe is the vehicles, though. So I find this to be incredibly cool. The classified series doesn't have a ton of vehicles in it, so the idea of having this thing is really awesome. Was it necessary to make it crowdfunding? That's debatable. I mean, obviously, I have backed two Haslabs myself, with the Star Saber one and the Deathsaurus one, but I'm a huge Transformers fan, and if that's the only way to get those characters, then that's what I'm going to do. For me, looking at this one, I could say, well, this probably could have been a mass retail release. Could have been a $150, $200 toy of just, the thing. Or strip it of some of its features, make it fake treads with faux wheels on the bottom or something like that to save costs. Got the electronics. You don't need all those things. But as a crowdfunding project, they went all out, and I can see that this definitely has a premium quality to it. So, I can't tell you whether or not this is worth it or not, because I didn't back this. This isn't my toy. I have to give it back. I also don't have space for it, so that's another issue with G.I. Joe is, I'm a Transformers fan, and I have tons of Transformers, and I don't have space for these things. But I'm really glad that I got a chance to take a look at it, because it is very cool. I think G.I. Joe fans will love this thing. If you backed it and got it, let me know in the comments below. Are you excited for this thing? Have you already customized it? I can see from the sticker sheets there's a lot of fun things that you could do with details to make this your own, which is awesome. If you have multiples, and you like doing toy photography and putting them in, different situations to show it off, it's really neat. One thing I was disappointed with, I tried to do it. I thought that these would be Blast Effects compatible. Maybe I just don't have the right size. I feel like it should be a standard thing. I have a ton of these Blast Effects from Transformers, and they don't fit in here. I forgot the size, whatever millimeter peg hole this is supposed to be, but there's no post on these things, so I can't put any effects on it. And these are cool looking, but they don't do anything. There's no launcher, there's no, sound effects for it or whatever, so really these are just here for show, and they fall off so easily. That's a little disappointing. For me personally, if I was keeping this, then I would probably take these off and just put them in storage. That's something that could have been done without, but again, some G.I. Joe fans probably love to customize this stuff. If you had two HISS tanks, have one with the missile pods, one without, change out the panels on these things because there's smaller panels that you can put on them, or take them off completely just to make them look different. You can put different decals on it to put it in different squadrons and stuff like that. it's really neat that you can do all that. I do like that aspect of the toy. But at the end of the day, this is a toy. Are you going to play with it? I don't know. G.I. Joe fans, if you watch this channel, let me know if you got a HISS tank, what you're going to do with it. And if you like this video and you want to see more of my opinions on G.I. Joe. I would love to dive into the world of G.I. Joe a little bit more, but because of previous videos I've done that are non-Transformer, don't get a ton of views, I've hesitated to do any of my G.I. Joe stuff. I have a few things G.I. Joe, and I do like what I have. Especially the Tiger Force and Python Patrol stuff. That stuff really speaks to me because that's an era of G.I. Joe where I did play with those toys, even if I didn't myself own them. But yeah, so this was a look at the Haslab HISS tank and most of its accessories. I didn't take out Cobra Commander because I just felt wrong opening that card. But the other stuff is really cool. I don't have any more unboxings planned, and the next video is either going to be the Combiner Wars video, or it's going to be a quick one-shot on Legacy Minerva. I'm not sure which is going to come out first. It just depends on how long it takes me to finish the Combiner Wars video. I'm almost done, I promise. I've been working very hard on it. I'm very excited for you guys to see the animation I've done for it. But thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll leave it at that, and I will stop rambling because this is why I script my videos.